Добрый вечер, дорогие друзья! Мы продолжаем трансляцию 9-го дня фестиваля Go Viral 2020. Сейчас у нас последняя сессия на сегодняшний день, но перед этим я бы хотел всем вам напомнить, что в 9 часов вечера по времени Алматы я здесь в прямом эфире проведу конкурс среди всех вас, дорогие друзья. Я задам вам несколько вопросов, и те из вас, которые дадут правильный ответ быстрее всех в Go Viral чате в мессенджере Telegram, ссылку на которую мы скидываем вам каждое утро, те и получат классные футболки от нашего фестиваля, поэтому не забудьте и обязательно участвуйте. А сейчас у нас сессия от Приянки Гарибы и Сунила Аяпана на тему «Масштабный запуск продуктов искусственного интеллекта в LinkedIn». Давайте вам немного о них расскажу. Приянка возглавляет управление технической программой организации «Искусственный интеллект» в компании LinkedIn. Она опытный профессионал, имеющий опыт работы как в сфере предпринимательства, так и в сфере потребления. Сунил работает в компании LinkedIn на протяжении уже 2 лет и все это время непосредственно занимается проектами, связанными с искусственным интеллектом. Друзья, будет очень-очень интересно. Итак, Приянка Гариба и Сунил Аяпан. Hello Priyanka, hello Sunil. I'm very happy to see both of you here with us.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you very much for the generous introduction, Aslan.
Well,
Hello.
yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I just want to give one last reminder to our viewers. Dear viewers, if you were going to have any questions during this session, you can always write your questions in the chat box right below our live stream. And at the end of the sessions, there's going to be a Q&A session. And I'm going to ask the most interesting and pressing questions on your behalf. And now, guys, the floor is yours. You can start.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Aslan. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing fantastic and staying safe through this pandemic. Sunil and I both are very honored to be a part of the Go Viral virtual event. Before we get started, we would really like to thank LinkedIn, our corporate communication teams, and Bagin, Aslan, Olga, all the folks behind the scenes for Go Viral who has really helped us get this talk virtually ready for us today. With that, I'll do a quick intro of ourselves and kick off our tech talk for today. My name is Priyanka Gariba, and I head Artificial Intelligence Technical Program Management Group at LinkedIn. And together with me, I have Sunil Ayappan, a very seasoned staff technical program manager on my team. And we will together be presenting a session on launching artificial intelligence programs at LinkedIn. With that, we have structured our talk in 4 key areas, starting with LinkedIn's vision and scale at which we operate, followed by the main content of our talk, where I will cover the launch of an AI platform and Sunil will cover an example of a consumer product called CrowdScale, followed by a wrap up with key takeaways that you can actually bring back home and apply to any AI program or projects that you might be currently working on. We will also leave some time, as Aslan mentioned, for some questions so that we can help and answer as many questions as we can by the end of the conversation. We would also like to share that this talk is basically our take from a lens of a technical program manager, co-leading the program with our engineering counterparts and sharing an overall journey from that perspective, our challenges and learnings along the way. So let's first start with LinkedIn. I hope everybody here is on our platform LinkedIn, and if not, I highly encourage that you do so. And through the course of the talk, you will hear Sunil and I talk about a few things where you'll really understand how beneficial and helpful the platform is. Our vision is to provide economic opportunity to every single member in the global workforce. I want to pause here for a second and allow you to soak up the information that we've really shared on the slides. If you see, there are 3 big numbers that are shared on the slide. The numbers listed here are just to give you a little bit of a perspective of the scale at which we operate, which is 706 million plus members, 650K graph queries, and hundreds of experiments that we run each quarter. Now that I've had a chance to share with you the scale at which LinkedIn really operates, let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. So, AI and data at LinkedIn is really like oxygen. And anybody who speaks from LinkedIn is going to speak to you about that. Every product we build at LinkedIn has some form of ML behind it. However, there are some products that are heavily powered by ML. Those fall in the category of our search and recommendation product lines. To give you a few examples, we've taken three screenshots that you can see on the slide. One is the feed, that's really your landing page and has content that is relevant to you. It could be your connections, it could be jobs that you are interested in, it could be people that you are following, etc. The next one is PYMK, which stands for People You May Know. And this is a product that really allows you to connect to like minded individuals. For example, think of all of us today who's attending this and folks that will be interacting towards the end of this conversation. We're all really like minded in some way or form and are connected. And so it would be great if we would be connected on LinkedIn. The third is jobs, which I'm pretty sure each of you must have used at some point in your professional journey to find your next play. I can tell you, if not, I can tell you, you should highly try and use LinkedIn to find your next play. I sure did get my job at LinkedIn using the platform, and majority of the people on our team have been hired through connections that we've built and nurtured over the years. There's one commonality amongst all of this. That is, all these products and more are powered by machine learning at LinkedIn. So, why am I sharing all this with you? It's really because it makes into the first problem that we all began to solve for. For all the products to share the best member experience, they really need to build machine learning models fast enough and in a very consistent manner and with high data quality. We did not have a platform that enabled us to do things consistently across the board. Every team had its own mechanism. What did that do? That posed a huge problem for us. Also, as an example, it took us time to deploy models in production, anywhere from about up to weeks to up to months. We realized that it was time we had to do something about it and solve this problem for our AI engineers. And so we wanted to move fast, build fast, and innovate fast. With that, now let me give you a little bit more specific into the specific problem that we were trying to solve for. If you see the slide, you will see that this is a slide that talks about a life cycle of machine learning. Imagine a life of an AI engineer. He or she will come up with an idea, then figure out metrics that they want to solve for, then move on to figuring out where and how the training data can be received from. Then look for the ML features to apply, then training, ranking, scoring, testing, evaluating, establishing a happy result, and then finally moving things from offline state to an online serving stage by deploying the model in production. As you could tell, even when I was talking, this is super wordy, right? The steps should really give you a picture of how complex the systems are and how important it is for one step to follow the other and make sure that everything works successfully one after the other. Imagine one thing that goes wrong and not knowing where the problem really is. That's going to cost you so much more time to debug. And that's where we were. So we were very determined that we wanted to solve this problem. Our goal was to make this super simple and make it one click to build and deploy models seamlessly. We acknowledged it was a hard problem to solve for to begin with, and there was no denying that. But we knew that it had to be solved. Ensuring a standardizing way of doing things and making it applicable to our product lines and businesses was even harder. So now that we spoke about the problem, I gave you a little bit more specific into the detail of the life cycle and what we were trying to really automate through this platform. We embarked on this journey and kicked off the program. We called it ProML, which stands for Productive Machine Learning. We needed some data to back up our theories and the problem statement so we could get the investment and support that we were really looking for to drive this as a LinkedIn tech priority. We focused on three core things: making our goal simple and crisp, which was to enhance AI productivity for all engineers that wanted to build and deploy models. Simple. It was one line, everybody could remember, everybody knew what the goal was. We defined the how by enabling them to build and deploy models faster, reliable, and in a robust way using a single platform. The second focus area, understanding the scale and impact. Our focus was to solve this for all engineers. However, we started with AI engineers in the AI organization first. Then for all other engineers at LinkedIn who would want to build and deploy models. And then we are open to even exploring open sourcing any a part or all of the solution in the future. The third, we acknowledge and went into the execution fully aware of the complexity this initiative would bring in through the journey. Seeing the previous slide, you did see the number of steps it takes for someone to be super successful in building and deploying a model. And that's what we were embarking on to automate. So there were many touch points, and each was adding a set of complexity in itself. So now that we shared about the initiative, the problem statement, let us talk a little bit more about the kickoff phase. During kickoff, we tried to answer the three crucial questions while we embarked on this journey, which was the who, the what, and the where. The who. We ran a survey to get a signal into the key pain points and areas, and specifically find certain teams that we could prioritize and have an order of applying the solution one after the other. We created different buckets of audiences starting from pilot groups and then stack ranked them into different priority. Impact. We knew the impact was across the board, but to realize that we had to start small. Hence, our strategy was to start with pilot teams, then across different verticals, and then eventually open it up to all engineers at LinkedIn. And like we mentioned, even open sourcing eventually, if that's the path we want to take. We started figuring out the right metrics to measure the impact as we developed. To start with, we focused on two things: engineer happiness and the trend as a trend, and quantified signal was through our customer satisfaction survey that we used to run every quarter. And the survey was specifically designed for an AI persona. So if you're an AI engineer, we really walk you through all the questions from the time you have an idea to actually deployment. The third one was the final question that was very important, that at least we tried to answer, was to know the company's priority. This is so, so, so important, because think about it, we're all engineers and everybody's really smart and everybody has wonderful ideas and solutions that they want to work on. What that does is puts us in a spot of competing priorities. What may seem important to me may not seem important to a partner team through whose help I'm really going to need through the journey of the program. So what we did is we pitched this proposal with all the data that was needed for decision making to our executive team. And then they looked into all of that, heard our pitch, and then basically approved this to be one of the top 5 LinkedIn engineering initiatives that we were working on. We got the backing of our chief data officer, our CTO, our head of engineering, and they all kind of sponsored the program for us. What that does is two things. One is it gives us the attention that we really need. And second, we get the sort of guidance that we need along the journey of this program. This is not a 1 month program, or it is not a 1 quarter thing. This was something we had embarked for at least a year. So it's a huge time investment for a lot of people. And so getting the right attention from the leadership team was extremely important for us. Let me share with you the 6. So on this slide, you'll actually see a handful of challenges and learnings that we saw through the journey. However, like I said, this is just a few from the big list that we had when we did our retrospectives or went through any learnings along the course. The first one is architecture. We knew that we wanted to make this end-to-end and in an automated way, opaque and extendable. Our architect proposed that multiple things. integration touch points, code review meetings, ensured that the architecture schema was extensible. He personally spent a lot of time designing some of these meetings, trying to make them effective, explaining people the roles and responsibilities that they held through these meetings, just to ensure that we were trying to achieve what we wanted to. Because we started very small, we were building the platform component by component. That is a good strategy. However, what that continued to do is we realized that we were not putting enough effort to trying to make it cohesive. So it became a little difficult for us. So we asked our lead architect to help us open up the hood and look into areas on how we can make it a single unified experience. We got two real learnings from that. Consider extensibility as a major piece, which is why every time something was being built, the first question he asked is this going to not just support the current needs, but also future needs? And the second is in the middle of a product launch, we also invested in bringing in a very seasoned UX designer on board. The reason for that is, when you start with any project, in the start, it's in a scrappy state and you're just piloting and testing and things like that. But once you start putting it in the hands of a user, you really want to understand the user mindset. And so the best person to do that from our side was bringing in this user designer, seasoned user designer who would help us guide through the user perspective. Let me talk about the other thing, which is the guiding principles that we used. So we focused on two areas. Prioritization. When we are solving any sort of a problem, just imagine it's a problem. When you're solving it, you're going to have users, and a lot of requests are going to come your way. And the same did for us. So we started getting super overwhelmed. We had to begin to say no and say no in an effective manner. And we needed to understand the impact of each deliverable before we could say no or push out something to build in the future. We also became very opinionated. Now, what does the word opinionated really mean? What that means is that the architect had a design and a vision of where the platform was going. And we all wanted the platform to go in that direction. So with any of these custom asks or anything that the customer is going to ask, it may derail us from that. And so we started calling ourselves as opinionated, and something that we would say, yes, this is something we will take as a requirement, or no, this is not something that we will take because it's not generally used, and it's okay for you to build an abstraction layer if you really need that. Our development model was very agile. So as many things or many projects at LinkedIn, and you'll also hear Sunil talk about it, is we're very agile driven at LinkedIn, and we use Jira heavily for our agile sprinting and stuff like that. For this program, we ended up carving up something like 6-week sprints, and we thought that was a good reasonable amount to actually have something started at the start of the sprint and have a good deliverable that we can showcase and retrospect on during the sprint end. The third is virtual team. So everyone that was working on this program really was not under one management or one leadership. Ultimately, yes, we're all under one leader at LinkedIn, but we were all in different organizations and we would have competing priorities. But we put everybody together and said, this is our virtual team. And really the goal of this virtual team is one goal. This is the platform we want to build. And for X number of months, this is what we're going to dedicate ourselves to. So what that helped us do is everybody was on the same sprint schedule. Everybody was coming to the same key meetings, the stand-ups. A lot of communication started becoming very easy for us. The next was success metrics. I cannot stress enough emphasis on how important setting success metrics for any project that you do, be it a home project or a work project. Always set yourself to a metric that you think you can measure by the end of the journey. We started with a metric that was doubling our experiments. And we soon realized that this is not something that we control as a team, as a platform team. And so we tried to pivot to the customer satisfaction, which is what I brought up in my previous conversation, and platform completeness. And these are the two that we currently consistently monitor and we measure, and we believe that these are the right metrics to measure whether this program is a success or not. Finally, dependency and communication. To me, both of these go really hand to hand because they are the heart of execution. Without a solid plan, a go-to tool, you cannot derive a real big picture. If you don't know the big picture, if you don't know how the picture breaks into smaller execution pieces, you don't know areas that you are contributing to, it's going to keep you very less motivated. And this is very important when the program is so big with so many number of people. Like for us, it was more than 100 plus people working on this. We relied on Jira Portfolio, and it worked as a charm for us. Um, like any broad and cross-functional initiative, communication is super, super important. So we ended up doing the bi-weekly check-ins because this was an expensive meeting with the key stakeholders. We also started sending out written reports, and we asked people to start getting plugged in into the right meetings if they wanted to know how we're doing and or share any suggestions along the way. This would also help us unblock our roadblocks and get the leadership attention that we were really looking for. Finally, overall, our operating model was very data driven. At LinkedIn, like I mentioned before, we use data for everything. All the decisions are heavily data driven. We have a fantastic A/B experimentation team and a platform called Excellenty, where we test, evaluate our metrics. Once we feel comfortable and feel that this is what we really were looking out for, only then do we continue to ramp further. Finally, to wrap up, I would like to say that no program is complete without celebration of the wins and thanking the contributors. It takes a village, especially big programs. It did take for us, and we're on that current journey. And we acknowledge that and we celebrate our wins every so often. This is a live program at LinkedIn and is expected to be in a good beta shape across all components by sometime next year. With that, I will now hand it over to Sunil to lead the rest of the presentation and talk about the product related program. Thank you.
Thanks, Priyanka, on the great insights of how we scaled ProML at LinkedIn. Hello, everyone. My name is Sunil Ayappan. I'm working as a staff TPM for Priyanka's team in EI, and my partner team is called Standardization. Now, before I jump into what is CrowdScale and how we scale that program, I want to spend a minute, about what my team Standardization does in LinkedIn. So standardization is considered as the backbone of LinkedIn. Most of the critical data you see in LinkedIn website or in app is data standardized by my team. For example, a title like software engineer can be written by a LinkedIn member in 11 different ways. If I can name a couple of examples, one is software engineer, one is software developer, and you can even call it as like senior software engineer. But our job is to ensure that a LinkedIn's member title is standardized in such a way that it's easily searchable. Okay, let me deep dive on how we use this info with an example. So consider on one side, there is a software engineer who has good skills in machine learning, and they are looking for maybe a senior software engineer role. And on the other side, there is a recruiter who is looking for a senior software engineer with applied machine learning knowledge. Now, how do we match this candidate to the recruiter? It looks for the skill set which matches the job skills which is needed for this job. Then we do a ranking as per other entities or attributes such as locations, skills, even degrees, etc. And then they serve that candidate to the recruiter. So LinkedIn is doing really exceptionally well solving this problem in English. However, in order for us to scale this further to international countries, we need to standardize entries in international countries as well. And this was the mission of CrowdScale program. The main goal of the program was to collect these standardized data quickly and also in an optimal way through the crowd itself. and also to have a pipeline to deliver it to our downstream products very quickly. So if you look at this example in the screen, on the top half, a recruiter is trying to search for a software engineer in French. However, the results shown are totally irrelevant. That is because we do not have the standardized aliases or canonicals for French. At the bottom half, when the recruiter is searching for a software engineer in Paris, they were able to get the relevant results. This happened because we were able to collect data through CrowdScale and get right aliases in French for the software engineer, which brings in the appropriate results. It sounds easy, right? But it is not. The journey of CrowdScale is kind of fivefold. So the first step is curation. In order for us to find the right aliases for a title or skills in the respective languages, such as French or German, we have to serve different type of questions to crowd. Now we order these questions by the member impact, meaning the skills or title, which has the highest member impact in LinkedIn, will be shown first. So the question will be like a multiple choice question with multiple answers, and the crowd can either pick from the answers provided or even provide a suggestion. So when we have 3 agreements on a particular question, then we see that, hey, we reached an agreement for that question and we can close that question. And we don't show that question anymore to the crowd. So the key question keeps getting closed until the crowd has 0 questions to answer. And that's how the curation is done. Now, second step is ingestion. After all the questions are completed in the curation step, we work with our evaluation team to score the precision for that particular answer. We take a random sample of the response and we evaluate with our team. Now, if the precision is above 90%, then we decide that, hey, this data is really good for ingestion, and we go ahead and ingest it. Now, standardization is a horizontal team, meaning we use the standardized data to build product using applied machine learning, which gets used by different teams within LinkedIn itself. So the third step is to deliver these newly ingested data to this product of what we call it as like delivery. So we build an automatic pipeline which will deliver these newly ingested data into this pipeline. Fourth step is alpha beta testing. So we collected data, evaluated it, and ingested it. Great, right? Now, what we will do is we'll start an A/B testing to find out whether these ingested data are really making any impact for the member. So how we do that is we serve the newly ingested data to some percentage of the members and serve the old data to the rest of the LinkedIn members. And if we see an increase in the metrics, then we say that, hey, maybe it is making a difference. So let's try to ramp it further. And we keep on ramping it further until we see that it's making a significant impact for the metrics which we care for. And everything looks good, then we ramp it to 100% for all of our LinkedIn members. The last, but the most important step is adoption by any other LinkedIn products. So all other products which we develop within the standardization are using this standardized data. But what about the different products, right? So we have built a pipeline which will deliver these changes to these downstream products within 24 hours. Some of the products which I can think of is like something like job search or recruiter search or even LinkedIn marketing system. So this is the picture of before and after CrowdScale. So before CrowdScale, we used to get these data from trained taxonomists who were kind of very limited, and the number of quality data we collected were also limited. So for example, we were able to ingest like 5K to 7K data per quarter. Now, after CrowdScale, we can use the same trained taxonomist plus the CrowdScale community to collect around 50K to 70K data within a quarter, and that too with high quality. Now, we have also scaled this concept to different languages and different entities like titles, skills, education, company, etc., with very less effort. So we would like to wrap up the presentation with 6 key takeaways. First one is build what matters. Now start with a small problem to fix and see whether you are getting some traction for it. Build trust and people will eventually invest. As we showed you earlier during our presentation, ProML and CrowdScale are examples where we started small and then scaled further. Second takeaway is learn and iterate. It's totally okay to fail. In fact, at LinkedIn, we encourage teams to create aggressive goals. It is better to fail fast, learn from the mistake, and then you iterate or pivot, which will put you back in the right track and provide you the desired results. The third key takeaway is plan to scale. Always build solution with scalability in the back of your mind. Do not go for one problem, one solution approach. The fourth key takeaway is data at LinkedIn is like oxygen. We always measure the success through the metrics which matters to us. This is why we spend a lot of time evaluating the data we get by means of precision or coverage, and then evaluate it through A/B testing and see how members are reacting to it. Fifth key takeaway is communication. It's very key for any program. While building scalable products, it's very critical to communicate really well between engineering and product. It's okay to over communicate, but if we under communicate, you can come across dependencies or blockers later during the execution, and everything can go wrong from there on. And last, but the most important takeaway, and this is one of the favorite lines we use at LinkedIn, and it is true to a large extent, it takes a village to build scalable products, and every member of the team is vital for its success. Now, with that, I will end my presentation and I will open it up for Q&A.
Much for this presentation. Thank you very much for this presentation. And thank you for taking your time to talk to us, because from your presentations, it seems like you don't have a lot of free time. There's a lot of things that need to be done. I have a question of my own. While I was, listening to you, and you were talking about your processes and how it works, the process of getting the project done, right, or reaching a certain goal, like related to AI or any other project within LinkedIn, can be complicated, can be a very long project, can be very long for you. How do you not lose yourself in the way? How do you not lose the enthusiasm that you start with? Is there a secret behind that? Do you have any tips or suggestions for that?
I can try and take a stab at it, and Sunil, you should chime in as well. So typically what happens at LinkedIn is we try and give ourselves flavor of working on at least two things at the same time. Yes, we might have a primary program. For us at TPMs, we have a primary program which will take up the maximum amount of our time, which is maybe like 70-80% of our time. And then we have another project that we go to. This is exactly to kind of balance the question you asked. Sometimes one project is not going well, you start feeling demotivated, but then there is the other project that might be going really well to lift up your spirits. Also, the kind of stakeholders we have in both these projects would be different. So you're interacting with different people, and people bring in a lot of joy and energy most times, right? The other thing is, I think Sunil also mentioned that, right? At LinkedIn, there's nothing like fail. Yes, a project can be lengthy. And even if there's a hiccup that we have through the process, we really call it as learnings. We try also not to call a postmortem meeting a postmortem. We call them learning meeting. So I think these are the ways in which the LinkedIn culture has set up, where it keeps us going and going. And the other thing is, we talk a lot about our projects, especially longer projects. We'll talk about them at our all hands, at our team meetings. And so it's always in the front center of the mind. So it's very hard for you to really take a step back and forget about it or feel demotivated, because everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows it's very important. So I think these are some of the ways in which we keep ourselves going. But Sunil, chime in if you feel there is anything that you want to share.
Yeah, I want to add like a couple of words: persistence and patience. Just have that and just keep it rolling. That's it.
Well, thank you very much. I think that someone might find it useful, in their work, whenever they feel that they're lost in all the, steps and in their way to achieving the goal that they have. Also, another question of mine, I hope it will not sound philosophical, but since you guys are working with AI, right? So several decades ago, such a concept as artificial intelligence only existed on the pages of the science fiction, right? The comic books and the TV shows and the movies. In your opinion, do you think, what do you think nowadays that we see in science fiction is completely plausible and will be, our day-to-day life in the close 30, 20, 40 years? Is there anything that maybe you want something to become true that is science fiction at the moment?
Sunil, you want to take a stab at it?
I mean, most of the things are getting true. Like, for example, self-driving car, right? I mean, I think Cruise in San Francisco, they got a license, and we are, hoping to see them, taxis coming to us without any driver in it. So these are the kind of things which are really happening.
Yeah.
I mean, and there are like good things also, right? Like, for example, anti-abuse within LinkedIn itself, right? Like we focus a lot on trust, and there are a lot of things which are happening in the web which is not really good, and AI helps us, kind of find these kind of things and prevent it from happening, which is a great thing also. So I see positive sides, and I'm kind of optimistic about what is in scope, and what are the things which we can do using AI.
Do you, like within your AI products or AI programs in your company, during the moments of working on them, do your team of engineers give them nicknames or some code names that they use? They do?
Yes, we do. We have code names for all projects across the board. And it's funny you asked that. At LinkedIn, we also, even our buildings, like every floor will be, like all the conference rooms will be named with a theme.
Oh, really?
It can be comic book themes, or it can be like characters, superpower characters and stuff like that. So we do have that. And even for projects, there is a sort of a theme that most teams will follow. And yeah, go ahead, Sunil. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, we have a building on Star Wars theme, so
Yeah.
I just want to add that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's fantastic. You should come visit sometime.
Oh, maybe I should. I forgot to ask in the beginning, where are you situated? Which city are you in at the moment?
So I am currently in San Francisco, California. And Sunil?
Yeah, I'm in the Mountain View.
Oh, great.
So it's the same. It's the Bay
Silicon
Area,
Valley, yeah.
Silicon Valley.
Okay, so the answer to my first question, I think that adds up to the overall environment within the company, that it's easy not to lose yourself when you're surrounded by this good environment within LinkedIn. So that sounds good. It's a good advertisement for anyone who want to work in your company.
I just wanted to also add a point to your previous question that you asked, right?
Yeah.
If there were two things, to Sunil's point, right? Like this whole driverless car thing is super fascinating. But if there were two things that I would love AI to really help and focus in the future, would be in the area of medical. So try and help with all these diseases and help improve the fatality rate, I think. And then the second one would be try and see how it can really help other areas. Like LinkedIn's bread and butter is we want to definitely ensure that we're able to connect people to their economic opportunities. So I would love to see AI doing that, making sure we can connect people to their economic opportunities, because that brings them joy. Having a good job and a happy job brings you joy.
Yeah. Here's another question that raised from the discussion. So do you think that AI in future might make some jobs, even within LinkedIn, some jobs or some people, the work that they do, obsolete? And what is your view on that? Do you think that's okay? That's the way it should go, with the progress, along with the progress, or do you think that there should be some restrictions that people should, take care of that so people won't lose jobs?
Yeah. I can take a stab at it, and Sunil, feel free to add in as well. I was expecting this question. We get this a lot, right? So really, I would encourage everyone to look at AI as a booster, as a helper. It's not here to replace. Let's not look at AI as it's going to replace jobs or it's going to replace the functions. Taking a very simple example of HR professionals, just because we all understand that language very well, right? Think about it. AI can really help us take care of a lot of mundane jobs. For example, we don't need humans to look at tons of resumes that each job posting gets, right? Why don't we allow a machine to help us look through those? Allow us to automate some form of like the job posting and stuff like that, right? It's so that people can help spend times in different ways. And I don't think AI is there to replace a two-way conversation or the interview that you're going to take at a company. I think we still need humans for that, and there's no replacing and talking about that, and there's no intent for that. So I would encourage that, look at it at areas in which you can really leverage AI to do things that today maybe people don't want to do, or they can get time back from that and to do something different and to optimize certain set of things that we do.
Okay, so it's just here to help us.
It's here to absolutely help. Yeah.
Okay, so that was just some of my thoughts that were raising in my head while I was listening to both of you. Now we have some questions from our viewers. So here's a question from one of our viewers. How do you think, so we're all in this not very easy times, right? With the pandemics and the lockdowns and things like that. Do you think the way the technology is aimed, or the way they are moving at this point of view, did it change its direction during this year? Was something drastic? Did something drastic happen to the development of the technology? If it is it linked to LinkedIn? Is it linked to the projects including AI that you have in your company?
So I can tell you that if anything, I think pandemic has given us a perspective. Think about it. We were all very robotic. The only way we knew we could get our job done was to actually go to office, sit at our desk, and get our work done. We had all the infrastructure, the tools, the mechanism to actually sit at home and do the same job. Like for many of us in the tech industry, we're all working 100% from home due to the pandemic. And I don't think there is any productivity hit. If anything, there are some pros that we actually got out of it. Like I stay an hour and a half from my office, right? I don't have to sit through the traffic, listen, take all the stress, right? Spend 3 hours in commuting every day. My mind is so much more fresher when I'm working, and I can get the same job done. The good thing is that the tech industry always had the good infrastructure and the tooling. Like we have a Slack, we have Zoom. Look at us, we're in different countries and we're doing a conference just seamlessly, right? So I feel we always had the means. We never put a pause, we never put breaks and really thought that this is also a different way to do the job. So I feel if anything, it's a perspective, it's a new perspective that it's brought to us. And to your point, yes, are there certain products that or ideas that came up with the inset of the pandemic? Absolutely. Like virtual events is one of them, right? Doing online events. Whoever knew that we would do conference for hundreds of people virtually? But we are doing that. And so is LinkedIn thinking about all of those and trying to build products and ideas in the sense of this shift and adapting to it? Absolutely, yes, it is. And I think we should all be doing, and everybody's doing that. So I think that's my take on the shift with the pandemic. Sunil?
Yeah, I just want to add, plus one to what Priyanka said. The pandemic has actually opened up, new avenues. The tools are always there, but then we are kind of doing more A/B testing, and we are testing it out, and it seems that everything is working out fine. It also gave us an opportunity to explore a lot of things. Like for example, I can give you an example where LinkedIn came up with a feature where people were getting laid off, we came with labels saying that open to work. Like, I mean, it was a easy way to understand that people are looking out for work, and we can help out each other through the connections. So I would say that the pandemic has opened up new avenues and made us more productive, more efficient with help of all the tools which are available right now.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for answering that question. Here's a question from Anzurat Kasimova. Since we're talking about your company, LinkedIn, and the topic was related to AI, she's asking, do you think AI is in privilege for big companies like LinkedIn or Google or any other companies? Do you think that at this moment, let me rephrase that. Do you think AI is getting enough attention from those companies, or do you think it's becoming more and more relevant to these companies about the whole AI technology?
So when you say, let me understand the question. Do you mean like in this current environment of the pandemic, like are we seeing any changes to the AI?
No. Overall, like today, if we just consider today, right, at this moment, for example, LinkedIn, the company, you have several projects including, which include the use of artificial intelligence. So is artificial intelligence, is it in privilege in terms to other kinds of technologies within the company, or it's just, this is the way now of doing things technologically when you work with data?
I think it's the latter for us. And I can give an example. The team at LinkedIn for machine learning, we used to call it machine learning team before.
Yeah.
Really began like a number of years back, about 6-7 years back. And it started with like one person working on that team. And now the entire organization is almost about a north of 550 AI engineers. So if anything, over the years, I think at LinkedIn, we've inculcated a culture that every product, data is a first class citizen, and AI is a part of data. So with every product idea that we're thinking about or talking about, we want to start thinking about, is there a way in which AI can be leveraged? Which before I would say was a different question, but today that's not the case. It is a first class citizen, and we think about it in the front right center while we're building our product lines.
Yeah, what I would also add to that is that it's not a privilege, actually. I mean, you can see a lot of small startups focusing on AI. So you don't need to have like a big company to have, some focus on AI. And things like there are a lot of open source systems and based on AI, like for example, TensorFlow from Google. It's all out there, right? Like it's not that you have to have a big company to use AI. You can be a small company and do the same.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question connected to AI. We have a lot of those. This viewer asks, what do you learn? What do you study? Or where do you go in order to be able to work, develop, be in any way connected to the development of AI in any company? What do you start from, or where do you go? What's the profession you want to pursue, the education?
Got it. I'll give my example, and I say that everywhere, wherever I go. I don't have a PhD in machine learning, but here I am, right, talking about it, driving projects successfully at LinkedIn, at a company like LinkedIn. So I think, yes, of course, having a good education helps you. For me, I have a bachelor's in engineering, master's in engineering, and in computer science, and that paved the path to get me closer to things like AI, which is cutting edge today. Tomorrow there might be something else. Does that mean we cannot find our way towards that, having some form of engineering degrees under our belt? Absolutely, we can. Right. So I would say that for those of, if there are students who are listening to us, yes, absolutely, try and ensure that you're going towards the science and the STEM fields. and trying to have some form of engineering under your belt to gravitate towards these things. Also, the universities have come up with artificial intelligence as courses, so you could all obviously take that. But for those of us who are already professionals and are working in the industry and may not be in AI, don't feel afraid. Apply for a job in AI, and you can always tell the person that you want to learn. There will be somebody who will be ready to pick up your hand and help you learn and take a chance on you. And so grab that opportunity. I gravitated from when I joined LinkedIn, I joined them as a in the data science team, and then I gravitated myself to AI, and I self learned at LinkedIn. So there are people out there who are willing to help. If you raise your hand and say, this is what I'm really looking forward to, people will help.
You should always,
that's really the message. Yeah.
You should always push and take the opportunities that are given to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also leverage tools like LinkedIn Learning. We have a lot of AI videos in LinkedIn Learning. You can go and watch it and learn yourself.
Awesome, thank you for the advice. Here's a question from Almas Mukaman, and this is a question not about the AI, it's about the LinkedIn company overall. So he asks, does LinkedIn work independently from Microsoft Corporation after the acquisition, or does Microsoft involved in any way in the I don't know if this information is public or not, but that is the question that he asks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. We get this all the time. So LinkedIn is a part of the Microsoft Corporation. That is our parent company. However, we do, LinkedIn has its own set of roadmap and the product sort of the vision that it's wanting to get towards. If anything, with the acquisition, I can tell you that more opportunities opened up. It's no surprise that Microsoft has a bigger footprint in the world than LinkedIn did, right? There are some countries where we have not tapped our best potential yet, but Microsoft has. And so joining forces together and integrating some of our product lines, if anything, is much more beneficial to us than the latter. So in that sense, there's a lot of work that we do together. However, LinkedIn does retain its own product roadmap and the vision, and we share insights and information back and forth.
Okay, thank you very much for answering that question. And I think this next question is in part related when you mentioned about different parts of the world, that is touched by a company. Here's the question: do you trace the popularity of your products in different regions, and do you adapt them to mentality, to culture, or to any other specific things that correlate with this region or with this country or with this small town?
I can take a stab at it. So CrowdScale was one great example where I can say that we kind of leveraged it.
Yeah.
Reason why I can give you an example. For example, there is something called gendered title in countries like France and Germany, where you have a different title for women and men. And when you look at the title and it is not gender specific, it is kind of little bit offensive. They take it like not in a way. And CrowdScale is focusing on getting those kind of data, trying to reach out to the team sitting there in French, getting that from the member or maybe from the employee itself, and get those data and make it very specific for that particular region, but that particular country. So I mean, to answer your question, yes, there are programs which are helping out in doing that. And hopefully, I think we should get better at it. Priyanka, you want to add anything?
Yeah. Another example I would also like to share is, like in India, when we launched LinkedIn, especially on the mobile app, right? Going back to your question of the culture and specifics to that country, the network here in US, the bandwidth and all of that is much different than what it is in India. And so we quickly realized that when we launched our app in India, we had to create some form of a light version or light on network version, because that's what our users were. Majority of the users were in that range that were using that light bandwidth. And so we had to cater to those needs. And did we adapt, shift, and pivot? Absolutely. So I think we do try to cater to that local region. It's really hard to do that for all the regions, but as and when we see demand, and as and when we see a region that really needs something, that becomes an area of focus for us.
Thank you very much. And I think we have time for one last question. And well, this person said that you've been talking about your work and about your company so passionately, you know, and with so much joy. She's asking, do you know if there is a branch of LinkedIn in Central Asia or in this area, you know, to look for job possibilities? Do you know if there's a you know, the branch of your company here anywhere in this region?
So LinkedIn branches are across the world. And like I said, now we're not just LinkedIn, we also are a part of a bigger company, which is Microsoft, has a bigger footprint. So I'm pretty sure there are, you know, there are teams and there are branches in your side of the world as well. I would love to connect with that person and see if there's any way we can help her connect to the opportunity that she's looking for, he or she is looking for.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I think that will be it for this extremely interesting session, guys. Thank you very much, not only for sharing about your work, but also sharing, not only sharing about your products and the information that you work on, but also sharing, you know, this positive energy. I got so much from you through this, you know, call. Thank you very much for having time to talk to us.
Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much. Have the best day, guys.
Take care. Good luck.
Good luck. Ну что ж, дорогие друзья, это была сессия от прянки Гарибы и Сунула Аяпана. Они говорили о масштабном запуске продуктов искусственного интеллекта в компании LinkedIn. Они обсудили очень много чего интересного о том, как они запускают те или иные продукты внутри своей компании и о том, как работать с таким большим потоком информации в принципе. Ну и, как я обещал, в течение всего сегодняшнего дня я говорил вам о том, что ровно в 9 часов по времени Алматы здесь, в прямом эфире, я проведу конкурс среди вас, дорогие участники. Давайте вам еще раз расскажу, в чем он будет состоять. Сейчас я задам вам несколько вопросов, а если быть точнее, 3 вопроса, которые будут связаны с фестивалем Go Viral. После каждого вопроса я буду ждать ваши ответы в телеграм-чате Go Viral Chat. Ссылку на этот чат мы скидывали всем вам каждое утро вместе с ссылками на трансляции. Поэтому, если вы сейчас смотрите эту прямую трансляцию и вас еще нет в этом телеграм-чате, то обязательно присоединяйтесь к нам там. Ведь суть конкурсов заключается в том, что те люди, которые ответят на вопросы, которые я буду задавать самыми первыми, те и получат призы в этом конкурсе. А приз у нас очень крутой. Мы подарим каждому участнику, ответившему правильно и быстрее всех на вопрос, классную футболку от фестиваля Go Viral 2020. Поэтому, дорогие друзья, не теряйте ваши возможности, присоединяйтесь к телеграм-чату Go Viral Chat и принимайте участие в нашем конкурсе, как я уже и говорил. Я надеюсь, что вы все подготовились, что вы освежили свои знания о нашем фестивале и пришли на этот конкурс подготовленными. Я напомню, что после этого конкурса у нас будет концерт, о котором я скажу еще подробнее чуть позже. И после концерта у нас будет уже завершение сегодняшнего 9-го дня фестиваля Go Viral. Итак, дорогие друзья, мы приступаем к конкурсу. И сейчас я задаю вам первый вопрос. Вот у меня здесь мой сотовый телефон. Давайте я открою сейчас Go Viral чат в Телеграме. Вот он, Go Viral чат. Сейчас человек, кто первее всех ответит на этот вопрос и правильно ответит на этот вопрос, получит от нас приз. И первый вопрос звучит так. В каком году прошел первый фестиваль Go Viral? Итак, я жду. Не теряем времени. Сейчас все начали считать, наверное, в голове. Вот кто-то пишет. Несколько человек пишет. Вот Байтасов Аспан написал в 2017 году. И это правильный ответ. Я поздравляю вас, Аспан. Вы первым правильно ответили на этот вопрос. И вы получаете от нас подарок, от футболку Go Viral. Аспан первый победитель в нашем конкурсе. У нас еще есть 2 вопроса. Давайте пойдем дальше. Друзья, давайте соберемся и будем активнее участвовать в конкурсе. Итак, следующий вопрос. Вопрос номер 2 звучит так. В каком городе, кроме Алматы, официально прошел фестиваль Go Viral? В каком городе, кроме Алматы, официально прошел фестиваль Go Viral? Так звучит вопрос номер 2. Итак, мы ждем. Не забывайте, что тот человек, кто первее всех ответит правильно, тот и получит приз. Душанбе, написала Анзурат Касимова, и это правильный ответ именно в Душанбе. Официально, помимо города Алматы, прошел фестиваль Go Viral. Отлично, замечательно, поздравляем вас, Анзурат. Вы тоже у нас выигрываете футболку. Итак, дорогие друзья, последний шанс ответить правильно на вопрос и выиграть классную футболку от фестиваля Go Viral 2020. Последний, 3-й вопрос. Он звучит так. Назовите тему фестиваля Go Viral в этом году. Поехали. Итак, назовите тему фестиваля Go Viral в этом году. И я очень жду ваших ответов. Давайте, друзья, последняя возможность выиграть в этом конкурсе. У нас уже есть 2 победителя. И сейчас тот человек, кто впервые всех ответит на последний, 3-й вопрос, который звучит «Назовите тему фестиваля Go Viral в этом году», тот и получит приз. Итак, тема фестиваля Go Viral в этом году. Я вижу, несколько человек пишут. Мне нужна полная тема. Вот здесь написали. Вот, Асель Абдрахманова написала Rethink, Redesign, Reconnect. И это правильный ответ. Асель, я поздравляю вас. Это правильный ответ. Вы у нас 3-й победитель в этом конкурсе. Вы получаете приз от нас, это футболку фестиваля Go Viral. Дорогие победители в нашем конкурсе, с вами свяжутся наши организаторы обязательно чуть позже и уже расскажут, как вы сможете получить свои призы. Поздравляю всех вас, огромное спасибо всем остальным участникам, кто принимал участие в этом конкурсе. А мы с вами идем дальше. Сейчас перед концертом я бы хотел рассказать вам о том, что у нас будет происходить завтра, в последний день фестиваля Go Viral 2020. Завтра в 14:00 по времени Алматы будет сессия Рашита Нугманова на тему «Драматикон. Драматургия на экране, на сцене и в жизни». Далее в 15:00, также по времени Алматы, Гульнас Балпиисова расскажет о принципах работы театрального режиссера с современным драматургическим текстом. Обе эти сессии, они в партнерстве с фестивалем Драма КЗ. Уже позже вечером у нас приготовлена для вас культурная программа, дорогие зрители. Вечером проект Рекон Акт. Это региональное театральное сотрудничество между театром Ильхом из Ташкента, Узбекистан, театром Артишок из Алматы, это здесь в Казахстане, и театром Место Д из Бишкека. Они продемонстрируют всем нам онлайн выступления. Мы все станем свидетелями этого очень интересного совместного проекта работы коллег из разных стран. Далее, после этого у нас будет торжественная церемония закрытия, поэтому тоже приглашаем всех вас посмотреть ее, будет очень круто, это я вам обещаю. И наш завтрашний день, последний день фестиваля, торжественно закончится на концерте певицы The Queen. И также у нас выступит диджей Рустам Оспанов из города Нью-Йорк. Дорогие друзья, как вы видите, очень еще много интересного и крутого мы для вас подготовили на последний 10-й день фестиваля. Ну а сейчас Дорогие друзья, под завершение 9-го дня я бы хотел представить Джейси Каприз. Джейси Каприз является художницей, писательницей, исполнительницей и продюсером, и просто очень талантливой девушкой. Сейчас она для всех вас выступит в рамках фестиваля Go Viral. Со всеми увидимся завтра.
Hey, what's going out there in virtual land? My name is JC Caprice, and this is Audio C, and we are excited to be a part of the Go Viral Festival and Network 2020 to rethink, redesign, and reconnect how we connect as a global community. And we know the COVID pandemic has put a lot of us like further apart from each other with social distancing and all that good stuff, but we're not gonna let any of that get us down tonight, right? Because we're here to connect and to collaborate through love, through peace, through unity. And we're going to take you on a journey to blast off into outer space. Will you join us? Now, I know you're at home, and I know this is virtual, but I want to hear you make some noise. Okay, that was okay. Okay, guys. Let's do it again, okay? When I say three, on three, you make some noise. And 1, 2, 3, make some noise. Yep. Okay, that sounds really good, right? So go ahead to stand up, sit back, relax. We're going to go ahead and get into this as we blast off into the universe. We fly across the universe and sky. So, yeah, let's live tonight like there's no tomorrow. 'Cause I'll blast off at the first light in the morning. Don't wanna waste away, feeling so wrong. Why can't we play these rays of non-conforming? Baby, this be my will. Hey.
Guys, look.
Where do you find these people?
I don't know. I didn't do this. What? Can you tell us where we are? Is it you want us to play something?
Here we go.
Come on. Yeah. Like this, like this. Yeah. Y'all ready? Blast off. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Yeah. We gotta go like this. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Fly away. The countdown to blast and outer space. Changing your point of view. This energy that flows through you. Beyond your stay. But if you misbehave, find that to stand in your own way. Obstructing your point of view. This energy that flows through you. Beyond your stay. Shooting stars up in the sky. We are raise a line around the sun. So far, soaring high and reaching wide. Beyond your stay. Shooting stars up in the sky. We are raise a line around the sun. So far, soaring high and reaching wide. Beyond your stay. Come on, let's go. Come on. Yeah. Let's go. What do you say? Let's go, let's go. Yeah, yeah, come on. Let's go, let's go. Yo, you know it. Yo, let's go. Here we go, we don't say. Yo, so. Let's get on down. Come on. You ready? Let's go. Come on now. Let's go. In that audio set. Come on, come on. Ha, yeah, y'all ready? Y'all ready to go? 'Cause I am. Ha. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. Come on, come on. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. Yo, come on. I know you're feeling that vibe. We are. Like it's on my way live. We're gonna take it all the way to the top. Let's go. Yeah. Woo. Let's come on, wow. Yeah. Let's go. Ha, I'm your say. Let's go. Let's go.
fast. The way her beats move me had me all up in my feelings. Yo, had me with the punchlines, had to keep it clean though. Real talk now, pillow talk, oh so. If I had to call her up, it's smooth with the rhythm. Find a way to flip it, put sizzle on that griddle, and make it all look simple. Mixtape, had to keep a guessing. Mistake after mistake, assist the stressing. Making beats of the sounds that were texting. Right from left to right, ambidextrous. Had to go inside to keep the party live. Knew I was made for this. I'm jokes aside, started producing. Had to get it popping, and that's when I knew that I was straight hopping. Had to go inside to keep the party live. I had to go inside to keep the party live. I had to go inside, yo, to keep the party live. Hip hop music, yo, I had to let it flow. Be who she wanted to be, wanted to protect and not dependent on the industry. An independent woman with her hands in the air, with her round, she just don't care. 'Cause hip hop, is hip hop. Put your hands where I can see 'em. Hip hop, come on. Hip hop, yo, if you love hip hop music, put your hands where I can see 'em. Yo, hip hop, come on, yo, hip hop. So if you love hip hop music, put it somewhere you can't use it. Try not y'all to abuse it. It's hip hop music, hip hop music. Yo, it made me lie, yo, it made me straight, yo, it made me really appreciate the things that I needed in my life. You needed in your life, the storyline. Yo, it's hip hop music, and you know that the show must go on. Yo, it's hip hop music. I want hip hop, go, the show's on. Oh, I wanna see you with your hands up, even though this is virtual. Yo, take it from your soul and let it go. Hip hop music, let's go. Yo, if you love hip hop music, put your hands where I can see 'em. Yo, hip hop, yo, hip hop. So if you love hip hop music, put your hands where I can see 'em. Yo, hip hop, yo, it's hip hop. So if you love hip hop music, put your hands where I can see 'em. Yo, it's hip hop, yo, it's hip hop. So if you love hip hop music, put your hands where I can see 'em. Yo, hip hop, yo, hip hop. So if you love hip hop music, put your hands where I can see 'em. Yo, if you love hip hop music, you got your life to live so free. You love hip hop music like I love hip hop music. Yeah. Yo, if you love hip hop music, put your hands up in the air. Put them way up in the sky. Wave 'em like you do not care. Oh, hip hop music, I put it in my soul. It's hip hop music. Oh, it makes me whole. Hip hop music, hip hop music, hip hop music. I won't give up the dare. It's that hip hop music, yo. And you know it's just hip hop.
Hey, I think you want us to go in here? All right, guys. Okay, I think I got it. The disco ball represents the groove, and then the earth represents us as a people in unity, and then when you put them together, then we groove in unity and collaboration. I think I got this. Guys, check this out. Wow. Yeah, it's the world, man. We about to do some world music. Off the world. Right
Yeah, yeah. That fame and fortune we don't need. Come on. Yo. City light shines so bright, burns up the night like a flame. The rhythm in my eyes, but forgotten tried, has got you going insane. When the stars align and the time Panda? Does that sound right? I think Panda liked it.
Panda, we got to get ready to go on back down. We have a show. I think we get it, though. I think it's about unity, community, peace, and love. So that's what we're going to bring back with us. Does that sound good? Can we please go home? Thank you. Come on, guys. All right, guys. I think we got this. Let's go. We got this.
Wow. Y'all, we've been through quite an ordeal. And you know what? You all at home have been here with us along on this journey. Like, we started on a regular stage, doing a regular show for the Go Viral Festival and Network. And the next thing we know, we were beamed up into some strange land in outer space. And we met a space panda. And if you're just tuning in, make sure you watch the replay. Yeah, it was crazy. But you know, throughout our journey, the lesson that we learned was that to be uncomfortable, to be put in an uncomfortable situation, it can be hard, but that doesn't always mean that you will be stuck there. It just means that you have to trust the process and trust yourself, that you will see yourself through. I don't know about you all, but I want to be great. You know, I want to rethink, I want to redesign, I want to reconnect. And that's what we're doing here, right? So much love to the Space Panda, much love to the Go Viral people, much love to the American Music Abroad people, the U.S. State Department, man, everybody who has given us this opportunity to become uncomfortable, but to become renewed. And we will continue, we promise, if you promise, to travel through time and space. Will you? Yo, I got this time and space thing in my mind space, like solar feel like a goblin in top space. Ha! Gotta stop and smell these flowers, so it's in a state of gold, losing track of all these hours. Avoid time traveling can make my stomach sour, licking up in different lands, overseas and cocoa-toes on island, on outstretched and iron wings. I take flight, grab a hold of this with all of my might. To my man, I hold my passport, a custom tie. And a God, yes, I trust him. Got my full-fledged faith in my muscle up. Anyone stands in my way is an uppercut. Go ahead.